Let's start with the D-backs because that's where we ended on Friday, which now feels like it was ages ago out there at Salt River Fields. We'll be back, I think, a week from today, actually.
Yeah.
A week from yesterday.
I thought maybe we were out there this week, as a matter of fact, then got corrected by the new program director.
She was like, no.
Kind of a flat shovel to the face.
Get your dates right or just get out,
right.
basically.
It's like, really? Oh, okay. But honestly, we're going back out there.
A week from yesterday.
A week from yesterday. That's right. Can't wait to get back out to Salt River Fields.
And then there's more, too. Yeah, we'll do the whole show out there because it's Salt River Fields forever. Geraldo Perdomo is going to be there for 4 years, at least, a 4-year extension with the D-backs. 4 years, $45 million officially announced by the team today. It was already being talked about yesterday, but now it's officially official. So that's another piece of the present and future locked up now for the foreseeable future.
What are your thoughts on this? What was your first reaction to this?
He is, I think, I don't want to say the forgotten key Diamondback because I think when the season's going, he's a fan favorite and he's certainly a teammate favorite, but he's not the name that gets talked about a ton. When you talk about Corbin Carroll, you talk about the pitchers, you talk about, Christian Walker leaving, so then you talk about Josh Naylor coming in. Everything I'm looking at, preseason stuff, projecting all-star games or even all MLB teams, they all have Ketel Marte at second base. But Perdomo's kind of the one that he just doesn't get as much hype, but he's such a key piece to what they're doing.
It is incredible right now, honestly. I'm so happy for Geraldo Perdomo receiving this 4-year extension based on earnings right now. This guy is, to me, one of my favorite Diamondbacks for so many different reasons. He is a complete player. I think, first of all, that's what I would talk about. He's a pesky hitter, is he not, at the plate? Pesky hitter. He's also a catalyst. He's got a catalyst gene to him that he gets on base. He extends, he starts a lot of rallies. We all understand this. We've seen this and witnessed this. He gets on base in a lot of different ways. He's fundamentally solid with his glove over and over and over again. He's got a clutch gene in him as well. He's respected and loved in the clubhouse. This guy is a complete player, and I love that about him.
He's also, if you look at their contracts, the way they're set up, if you just look, baseball's got so many, you can be arbitration eligible, you could have a club option, you could have a player option, but as far as guys that are just signed past this year that are big names, Corbin Burnes, Eduardo Rodriguez, Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Geraldo Perdomo, and most other players are either, some of these guys are going to be locked in past this year, but, look at the pitching staff. Jordan Montgomery, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, all free agents at the end of this
years.
A lot of other guys, like Gabby Moreno is going to be back, but he's arbitration eligible next year. Like, as far as just guys that are just locked in, Geraldo Perdomo's on kind of a short list right now.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because when Goldie was here, Goldie had this quality to him for the most part. At least it was my perception that Goldie had this quality where you could point to the guy and you could say, speak like he speaks, do what he does, and you're going to be great around here.
Yeah.
If you speak like he does and you do what he does, you're going to be perfect. You're gonna fit in here like a glove. I think Geraldo Perdomo has a lot of that same quality of Paul Goldschmidt.
This is Torey Lovello on with Bickley and Murata this morning. Yeah, it's from this morning. Talking about re-signing Geraldo Perdomo.
Well, first of all, a huge congratulations to Jerry, and so well deserved. And there's certain things that I'm able to talk about and battle for. When we're talking about contracts, I don't make any decision on it. But when Mike sits down and talks to me about the importance of certain players, I really started to pound the table hard for Jerry to get this and be a Diamondback for as many years as possible. So where it landed is not my decision, but what does he represent? Stability, leadership, consistency. He has been here in this organization since he was 16 years old, has been a product of our academy down in the DR. Every coach has touched Geraldo, and he's accepted coaching. So,
man, that's pretty much covering it right there, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being in there filling in on the pregame show one day, getting ready to interview Torrey, and it was it was just randomly right after he had just told Perdomo he was going to the All-Star game. So what was this, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Perdomo was just running around the halls celebrating. I'm like, what's going on down here? They're like, oh yeah, he just found out he's an All-Star, because it was later. It was after the original selections. He found out he got to go. Yeah, he's one of the main guys that really does keep this going forward for the Diamondbacks, and he's one of those guys where you can look at this team now and say this is they're in win now mode, but you can also look to the future and say it's not the same as, the Suns were in win now mode, and if they don't win, are they falling off a cliff? The Diamondbacks are still set up for the future, and Perdomo's one of the big reasons why. Here's Derek Hall on Bickley and Murata today.
Well, I'm thrilled by it, and I heard you guys talking about him this morning, and you really nailed it. I don't think most people know just how much influence he has and impact he has in that clubhouse and in that dugout. He's a fun player to watch on the field. He's great defensively, good speed. He handles the bat well. He's a great eye. He gets long at bats, gets on base with walks when he needs to. But more importantly, he is a leader. He is, arguably the leader on that team, and everybody listens to him. He's not afraid to get in anybody's face, but he's also enthusiastic and fun and funny, and his personality is tremendous. He's just a great character, and he's a great kid, and I'm thrilled that this money and this contract can change his life and his family's life, because he deserves it, and he's worked hard to get where he is.
See, even D. Hall understands just how important it is that somebody walks up on somebody and says, "What are you doing?" Right? Even Derek Hall is locked in on that right there. He's not afraid to get in somebody's face. You can't be afraid to challenge yourself. Man, first and foremost, if you're a young athlete right now, hear me well on this. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Don't. Hold yourself to a standard you're not going to hold anyone else to. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself first and foremost, and don't be afraid to tell the truth about yourself, my young crunks. Don't. And then you can, after you hold yourself to a higher standard, walk up to somebody and get in their face and ask them what they're doing. It's critical. And to hear this about Jerry, I honestly, when he first came into the organization, first made his splash, if you will, I honestly didn't think he was that type of guy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. When he first came up, he was kind of quiet, and
yes,
but he's also like
he's a classic example of a guy that really grew into a leadership role.
Because he's a happy guy. Like you would say, like he's sort of that, I don't know, like the fun-loving center of this team in a lot of ways. But you can do that and still lead. And I mean, look, if they're saying it and you see it, I mean, how many times do you see even a conversation on the pitcher's mound and he's always out there?
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.